Yeah, it's on the left side.
There it
Yeah,
is.
there's the camera. Whoa.
See that? Just like that, we're syncing up.
All the time. I'm Bronkar.
I'm Aaron.
And
we
we're
are
Collision of Rhythm. We definitely did not plan that. But
Not at all.
so we want to talk about today, we want to talk about recombinant innovation. And what I mean when I say recombinant innovation is it's essentially taking multiple skills and combining them together to create a super skill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a lot of times it's used in technology. You know, we have the smartphone, which is, you know, essentially a computer plus a telephone coming together to make the smartphone. And it's used also not only in technology, but in human beings and how we, you know, really, I think, bring all of our different experiences in life and skills that we've cultivated together. You know, and the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Mm-hmm. And essentially, we're the whole of the sum of all of our different parts, moving parts.
Absolutely. Whenever
Whenever we're bringing a new skill to the forefront or bringing a new skill to the table, there always seems to be this fear that's involved, right? And I know for me, sometimes I feel this imposter syndrome, or I'm not good enough, I'm inferior. I feel like I'm never really ready until I've done it. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, I definitely wasn't ready, but I did it, you know what I mean? And now I'm ready, you know? And so there's always this thing. I mean, do you feel that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's funny hearing you talk about that, because even in things that I know that I put time and energy into, enough time and energy to be successful, I still feel that way, especially the first time or two, the first couple of times. I'm like, is this really ready? Is it really going to go off the way I want it to? And the fear gets even greater when it's something that does involve recombinant innovation on a higher level. Yeah. Because I'm putting a couple of skills together, and not only am I worried if it's going to succeed, I'm worried how other people are going to view it.
Oh.
Like I'm doing something that it's not a new invention, right? That's the difference between invention and innovation.
Yes.
But I'm doing something that's a little bit different, and people may look at this and think, oh, you're just trying to do that thing, or you're just trying to be like that person, or why would you put those two things togetger? Yeah. So there's like this extra fear that kind of surfaces.
And it's all that self-talk, because it's not really true. Right. I mean, maybe we've received data in the past where it's like we've tried something new and that's happened. We've gotten that pushback, or we've heard a story of somebody else doing it and they, you know, and all that. But in reality, that's the internal dialogue of your own mind or my own mind, or maybe your own mind, you know, right? Yeah. So what have you done to combat that or to overcome that?
Well, one thing that pops into mind quickly, great question, by the way, since we're sitting here talking at the same time, is I think about the support from your friends and your coworkers. Like, for me, one of the things that has been a struggle has just been introducing the storytelling aspect into my marimba playing, because Bronkar is a keynote speaker, a motivational speaker, and I see him on stage. I'm like, man, you just level up and you keep getting better and better. And we have conversations, we're friends, we talk on the phone. So I know how much time and energy Bronkar has put into developing this particular skill. Yeah. So it's not like I feel that I can't put in some time and effort and get a little bit better. Yeah. And he's totally supportive, but still, it's like, man, is my storytelling going to be successful? Yeah. Are people going to think that I'm just trying to be like Bronkar? Am I going to stumble over my own words? Yeah. Is my story going to make sense? Right. I'm just judging myself. It's that self-saboteur, right? Yeah. It's really that person, because the first time I actually did it, it went really well. Yeah. And it's gotten much, much stronger since then. Right. And it's starting to feel fun and enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, because as you know, with any skill, it's about demystifying it. We deconstruct the skill, and then we isolate it, because again, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and that whole skill has lots of little parts to it, right? And you deconstruct, like storytelling in your situation, and we can break that down, beginning, middle, and end. You know, who are the characters? I mean, there's so many parts to it, and we can really break it down and take a true and relevant story and make it, you know, connect with an audience. Yeah.
What's some of the challenges that you faced as you've slowly assimilated some of your skills? Yeah,
slowly assimilated my skills. Yeah, slowly. No.
That's not the intent.
Very slowly. No. There's internal resistance, you know, always seeking. I think for me, I'm always seeking validation to a degree. You know what I mean? Like I'm always wanting to be good enough. One example is just bringing new skills into the performance, right? I think about like saxophone, because that's a big one for me. And when I'm coming to the table with something new, I think in my mind I concoct these weird stories of like, what if there's some high-level professional saxophone player in the audience and they see me and I don't have good tone, or I miss a note, and it's like
I know exactly what you're talking
and
about.
now even in this moment of just saying it out loud, I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, what is that?
It's not ridiculous though. It's natural.
Yeah.
When we did our show a few days ago, and I knew one of my friends in the audience who's a phenomenal piano player, like jazz pianist. I'm like, how are you so good? And he came to our show.
Yeah.
And I felt myself like getting nervous before my piano part.
Yeah.
Like, man, this isn't good enough. He should be on stage, not me.
Yeah.
It's the most ridiculous things I was telling myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's totally natural.
Yeah.
I hope.
And for those of you watching that don't know Aaron's piano chops, he has like, and he'll deny it, but he's an amazing pianist. I mean,
I'm getting better.
He's got classical chops. He's got jazz chops. He's got
working on it.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe we just hold ourselves to too high of a standard, or we just understand that we're not done in our journey.
Yeah.
Or we just always see the next thing that we want to go to. There's always another summit.
Yeah. It could be viewed as, personal development, a positive thing, or self-sabotage, a negative thing, I guess. Somewhat
That's a really interesting point. I mean, because I think it's positive.
Yeah,
because it affects us positively. It's a motivating factor that encourages us to get better.
It's a catalyzer. Yeah.
It's a catalyzer. Yeah.
Utilizing that situation as a challenge to rise to the occasion. I have had legitimate negative reviews or negative feedback, things like that. And I've used those as catalysts for me to push myself forward, to propel myself forward. Having the support team, like you mentioned, is critical. Having those people that believe in you and remind you. I think it's the reminders, and I think the reminding on a regular basis, whether that's a human being like a mentor or a peer or a friend, or maybe it's a vision board where it's like pictures and things that remind you, but whatever it is, or a movie, or what, it could be many things, but having those reminders on the regular basis that keep that top of mind. And that's what's so powerful, I think, about affirmations and mantras, rituals, routines, things like that.
I was thinking, hearing you talk, that internal dialogue can become more positive with practice, I think.
Yes.
And I think that hearing you talk about affirmations really goes in that direction.
Yeah. So do you have any positive affirmation that you do?
I mean, I tell myself that I'm good enough and that I can do it. And I remind myself of the same things that I tell my students, which is that, of course, you can't do it right now. You're just learning it.
Yeah.
With some practice, you'll get better.
Yeah.
And not just in the musical context, but whatever it is.
Yeah. What are some techniques that you're using to combat that fear, to give yourself permission to step into that new way of being? Are you using visualizations? Are you using affirmations? Surrounding yourselves with the right types of people that remind you and inspire you? I think we're signing off.